My name is Peace Hyde and I am a TV personality and actress. I was born in the UK. I've lived there literally all my life. My parents are Ghanaian, both of them. My name is, I don't even know. I think my name is normal. But yes, that's literally my background. I've lived in the UK for the larger part of my life and I moved back to Ghana about, I think it's nearly 2 years now. Well, I've always felt like I wanted to move back home. Not meaning to sound too deep, but I always had a gut feeling that that's where I needed to be. So I decided one day that it was time. I let my job go and unfortunately around that time my dad had passed away. So I decided, hey, do you know what? This is a wake-up call. It's time to follow your dream. For the largest part of my career, I was actually a teacher. I've been a teacher for several years. I taught the sciences, so chemistry, biology and physics. I specialize in biology and chemistry and it's for teenagers. So I'll give you the ages from the age of 11 to 18 was my field. I did that for several years. I also then rose to senior management, did a lot of teacher training and all the kind of nerdy stuff. And then I've always had a very, very, very big interest in the creative arts, entertainment. I've loved it. But you know, as every good African household, it's education first. So I pursued that and I loved it. But I felt that at this point in my life, it's time to now follow a dream that I never really actualized, and that was to go into the media. So I moved and I did just that. And here I am today. Well, I moved back to Ghana. I did a lot of ideas like content creation, but I had no clue how to even start that whole industry. Oddly enough, though, God's grace, I like to call it, I was on social media one day and I got contacted by two people. One was Desmond Blackmore from D Black, I think you'd know him as. And he said, look, I really like your image. I like what I'm seeing in terms of your image. Let's meet. I've got an idea. So I was like, okay, odd. It's not happening every day. I met up with him and he mentioned a concept that he was developing. It was called the EFGH show, which was entertainers from Ghana. And he wanted to just really celebrate Ghanaian entertainers and the amazing things that they're doing and get to know about their personality behind the celebrity image. And he was looking for a host. So I was like, I'm there. And I guess that's where it started in terms of my TV presenting. In terms of my event hosting, I really went in on the deep end. Every year we have one of the biggest movie celebration events in Ghana, award ceremony, shall I call it, called the Ghana Movie Awards. And by this point I'd made a bit of noise, but not much in the media. And I was actually contacted, which is kind of weird, and given the opportunity to host the event. I hosted the event alongside two other ladies and it was absolutely terrifying. It's weird because I've had a lot of experience in public speaking and presenting from teaching and education, but it was just a completely different energy. But I love the experience. And you know, a huge thank you to D Black and to Frederick Nwama and the team from the Ghana Movie Awards, because they really did put me on. And it kind of just went crazy from there, to be honest. I think the biggest challenge when you're doing anything in life is challenging your mind. It didn't matter how great people were like, Peace, you're doing really well, or I really think you could do this. The hardest thing I found was convincing myself. It's one thing to want to do something, but when you actually are given the opportunity to do it, you've got to believe that you can do it and you've kind of got to get on with it. The hardest thing I found was battling my mind. I'm not a very out there person because of my background. I'm really just a nerd. So being thrown in the deep end to something that I wasn't used to, but I really was passionate about, was a really hard challenge. So I think that the biggest challenge I faced was just that mental battle that was going on every day. Peace, you're rubbish. And I'll be like, no, okay, let me try again. It was very hard, but I enjoyed it. And I'm thankful, to be honest. It's made me who I am today. I think my dad, if he could see me right now, would be like, oh, Peace, I think. I mean, he loved the fact that I was a teacher. And my mum, obviously, they love, you know, education. My daughter's a teacher and she's senior management. You know, they love all that. Excuse me, I have a really bad African accent. I'm not going to do that again. But yes, I think for them, they were a bit nervous, as most good parents would be, that you're going into an industry that isn't so structured. By God's grace, I was very successful in what I used to do. So it was a big risk. And, you know, I always believe if you go for your dream and you put 100% into it and you have faith, there's no option but for you to succeed. And I've been very, very blessed that I believe that is what's been happening. So I think initially they would have had heart attacks. My mum did, but you know, it went very well. And I think you'd be very proud. Well, do you know what I feel? From literally the day I started working in life, I was training for this. And it's kind of weird. I don't want to sound like I'm some sort of pastor, because I'm not. But anyone that follows me on social media knows that Peace has always got something to say about something in life. And I found that, you know, through teaching, through even the child psychology that I did so many different things that most people would go, how are you doing entertainment? But you actually realize as a teacher every day, nearly 12 hours or something like that a week, I'm standing in front of a room full of people teaching them about so many different things. I'm speaking to parents, I'm speaking to governors, I'm speaking to so many different boards in our school that you're consistently presenting something. And sometimes it's quite boring. None of my lessons were boring, but sometimes it was boring. And you had to keep people engaged. And that's sometimes the hardest training to do. I wasn't blessed to go to presenting or any acting institution because my focus was education and I loved it. But I realized when I started doing this job that I actually got some intense hours of presenting experience behind me, because I was teaching so many lessons, doing so much training, planning, organization, content creation for your lessons. And when I moved to Ghana, it just enhanced further. So I think I got the most valuable training, which was on the job. And that is priceless. What brings me to Nigeria is ambition and determination, but most importantly, MTV Shuga. I just finished actually shooting MTV Shuga season 4. So that will be out very soon. Keep an eye out for that. And there's a couple of things in the pipeline actually that I'm working on. So yes, that's why I'm here right now. MTV Shuga, I actually auditioned. I watched the previous series that was done in Nigeria and I thought it was absolutely awesome. Obviously, teaching is my background and I love the fact that they mix entertainment with education about HIV/AIDS. So I wanted to be part of it. I was like, oh my God, please. So when I heard about the auditions, I went down. I auditioned for the role of Enola, which is basically a mother mentor who helps Princess and Sophie deal with the new stage that they're at in their life. So I'm not going to give too much away, but yes, that's what I did. And it was really, really interesting. It was a very, very big learning experience because the production was extremely high quality, but I absolutely loved it. And I auditioned, got the part, had my celebratory meal because I love food, and here I am. I love it. I love criticism. In fact, I prefer criticism than compliments, unless you're watching this video. If you criticize me, I'm killing you. But no, I think that's the only way you can learn. You need to be criticized. I don't like negativity. I don't like what people like to say, oh, haters. I know it's a part of life, but I don't appreciate that. But I love criticism. If it's coming from a positive place that is motivated to help me improve, then yes, I always welcome it because that's the only way you can be better. I feel that I have two things that motivate me. Number one is God. Without him, I'm nothing. And I believe that I want to achieve my full potential. I want to know why I'm here. And because of that, I kill myself every day to feel like I'm getting closer to whatever it is that he created me for. So that is my number one motivation, succeeding and fulfilling what I believe is my purpose. I know this is not like a deep interview, but that's what motivates me. Another would be my mother. My mother, because she's an extremely hardworking woman and I look up to her in every sense. And if I can achieve even a quarter of the things that she has done for me, my brothers, my sisters, my family, and be half of the woman that she is, then I know that I've made it in life. So that's the goal. I think my signature fashion style is anything that makes you feel confident, sexy, classy, and modest. I think that I love being a woman. I love embracing what makes me a woman, but I think you have to do it with a level of sophistication. So I'm not really a fan of tiny clothes, and also I don't have the body for that. But I like clothes that embrace womanhood and make me feel confident, sexy, but very classy. I think the Nigerian entertainment industry is absolutely phenomenal. I mean, they are on a level. Like every time I go to one of their events, I'm like, hey, but these people ain't playing. So I love what I'm seeing in Nigeria, and it really is motivating. I mean, the Ghanaian entertainment industry is brilliant. It's growing, it's doing so well. And I love the fact that we're learning from each other. So yes, I think the Nigerian entertainment industry is phenomenal, and it's just got so many amazing talent in it. Brilliant. I feel like my brand right now is in a very early stages. You know, I feel like in the next couple of years, I want to see myself enhance as a TV personality, as an actress. I want to see myself, God willing, on, you know, brilliant productions. I want to see my brand grow, but I haven't, and I personally believe this, that you don't make specific plans on your life. You make plans on your mindset, on yourself developing as a spiritual person. Why? Because you'll find that if you make plans, they never happen and they never go the way you want them to go. But if you focus on things that you want to achieve in yourself as a person, like I want to be more hardworking, I want to be more confident, I want to be more bolder to follow my dreams, I want to be more organized, I want to be better with time, you'll find that somehow life manages to put things in place that make that happen. And by default, your brand molds from that, if I can put it that way. So for me, when I look at my life and my brand, I want it to just build in quality and substance. But I believe that in terms of my career and the productions or the projects that you see me on, keep you posted and you'll find out. I found that a huge compliment, because I am heavily inspired by some of the main people in the Ghanaian industry. They were the ones that I'm like at home watching in the UK. So to now join them in an industry and, you know, just make an entrance and be defined in such a way, I found that as a huge compliment, which I work daily to hopefully slowly try and fill. But as I said, Ghana really, and the media have been very good to me. And my fellow colleagues have been so supportive and so encouraging, and I'm just very blessed when it comes to them. Yes, from a young age, I've always had a diary. So I am someone who is always writing about my views and how I feel. Even when my writing was awful, I was still doing it. I'm a very passionate writer, and my Piece of Peace blog was actually a form of therapy. It was keeping me going. Like when I was going through difficult situations, I would write about them and say stuff to motivate me and keep me going in the space that I was in at that time. So I started writing more and more. And weirdly enough, one day, one of my friends came by and they saw one of my writings. They happened to like read through it and they were like, this is really good, you should publish it. And I'm like, who would want to hear about it? And I remember speaking with Amial Deborah, and he is absolutely awesome. And I basically said, look, I write this. Would you be interested? He looked at it and was like, oh, okay, cool. I would like to post that. And he started posting it. And by God's grace, then other bloggers started posting it. I was like, oh, I'm kind of good at this. So I just kept going. But a piece of peace is literally what it says on the tin. It's a piece of me. It's a piece of my thoughts. It's a piece of my motivations. I don't feel like I know it all, but you know, the little I do know and that I'm learning every day, I just want to share it. And hopefully, if someone's interested enough to read past the first line, then they might take something with it and it might help them somewhat. Well, what I like about the African entertainment industry is it is full of so many people that represent so many different brands, and entertainment can mean so many things to so many different people. So for me, I haven't really seen it as staying in a box per se, but I feel that, you know, the beauty of what makes us all different is that what we define as entertainment or what interests us may not be the same as our fellow brother or sister. So, you know, some people will go into the entertainment industry and they will do something completely different. But for me, I feel like I've gone through a lot of experiences that has been able for me to take on these new opportunities to the best of my ability and learn. So I'm just very, very blessed that the opportunities I've had that have reinforced the skills that I guess I've already been nurturing. But I have a long, long way to go still. I have loads to learn. And you know, there's so many things that I would love by God's grace to do. So it just takes time and we'll see how it goes. But for now, I don't think I'm staying in a box, but I feel like I'm building my foundation in the right way to make sure that it's strong and it reflects what I believe in. If I had any scandals and I had a squeaky clean image, why would I tell you? Do you know what? I don't, honestly, I'm actually very blunt. I speak my mind. And yeah, I'm just me. But I do have a background. I'm like a teacher. I've been teaching for years, so I'm not that exciting. Not that I'm killing my brand. If you think I'm exciting, then yeah, let's go for it. But you know, I'm not you're not gonna get, well, maybe you could, but as far as I'm aware right now, the things that interest me, the things that motivate me, the things that I love to do in my own time that are driven by passion, unfortunately aren't probably scandal worthy. I mean, yeah, maybe that's a scandal in itself. Hi, my name is Peace Hyde and you're watching Pulse TV.